Hi everyone, welcome back to my channel. My name is Taylor and this is the Secondhand Librarian, where I just talk about bookish things. I haven't been on here in a while and it's because I've just been really busy with my bookstore. I have a lot of stuff coming up for this summer, like pop-ups, events, things like that, and so I've been kind of going into overdrive, like preparing for it. Also, I apologize, I'm in my studio space right now, and so I'm kind of near like trains and they're very loud, so I apologize in advance for that. But I'm here today because I wanted to do a video about kind of like the frequently most asked questions I get about like how to start your own bookstore, pretty much. And it's stressful for me because I feel like I'm not an expert in this at all. There wasn't really like a laid out plan, and that is something that I feel like has hindered me. I will talk about that later, but I'm definitely kind of like, I have an idea, I do it. If it works, great. If it doesn't, oh well, I'm on to the next thing. So I'm very like kind of a fly by the seat of your pants type of person, which I think is good for when you're first starting to do something like this, but probably not good when you're actively building a business. So I figured I'd just do this video so it kind of answers all the questions I get. And obviously if you have other questions, definitely let me know so I can like address them later as well. But yeah, I pretty much wrote down all the questions that I get about bookstore stuff. You can't even really see. And I figured I'd answer all of them today. So let's get started. So the first question I typically get is, how did I get started? Now, I kind of did some of this in the bookstore YouTube video, so I'm not going to go like super into it, but basically I had a very huge personal library collection and I was furloughed due to the pandemic, so I just had so much time on my hands. So I basically got the idea just to sell off my books, my personal collection. And this was for many reasons. One, mainly because I was actively running out of space. My husband and I live in a 1-bedroom apartment with our cat, and I literally had books like in our kitchen, in our bedroom, in our living room. It was like getting out of control. And so I thought of just like a fun hobby it would be to like sell off my personal collection, since I was so used to, you know, lending out books and things like that. So I figured like, why not do that with my own books? But the caveat was that I wanted it to be accessible. So even if it's a brand new book that just came out or something like that, my goal was to let people who might not have the money to constantly buy new books, constantly buy like the bestsellers, to have a chance to read it. So I just I came up with that idea, and because I'm so impulsive, I think I made like a website that night. I do have some background in computer science stuff, but it wasn't really like technical. I literally have mine set up on Wix. So I created a website. The Secondhand Librarian kind of came from the fact that if I wasn't doing this, I would be a librarian, and I feel like I kind of became one in my group of friends. Like I literally have like a personal library system for my own books because I lend out books so much, and I like to know where they are so that I can hunt you down and get them back. So I kind of did Secondhand Librarian because I was, you know, I was getting off of my own like personal collection, so secondhand. So yes, I did the website, and then I created an Instagram. Now the Instagram, I pretty much followed a bunch of like local businesses in Rochester, New York, other local bookstores, things like that. We don't really have a lot of bookstores in Rochester, which is, it's a plus and a con for sure. But then I also got really integrated in the Bookstagram community. So I will say, if you are thinking about doing something like this, I am not a social media person. And by that, I mean, I don't like it that much. It stresses me out. It's overwhelming. I'm one of those people that can be very, I don't know. I know when I scroll a lot, I can feel how it is mentally on me and it stresses me out a lot. So it's not like my favorite thing. I literally had a flip phone up until maybe 2 years ago. I don't really like the internet when it comes to that stuff, but social media is literally the most important thing. So I would definitely create kind of a curated Instagram account, follow local businesses in your area, follow bookstagrammers that have big followings, or even just content that you like, reach out to them. I know when I first started out, I would reach out to bookstagrammers that I liked, that were either local or just like I like their content, and I would say, hey, like I have a bookstore. If you look through my inventory and see a book you like, can I send it to you in exchange? Like, you kind of promote what I'm doing. And 9 times out of 10, everyone said yes. So it was really helpful. That's how you get the exposure that I think is like absolutely necessary to having a completely online bookstore. Like, it's not like people can just like walk past your storefront. Like, it's definitely, your social media presence is everything. So I will say that for that. The second question is probably actually the most popular asked question. That's, how do I source my books? So answering this question, it is hard for me only because when you are doing secondhand, while I will always only do secondhand, I feel like that sustainability aspect is what resonates with me so much. It is very hard because you're competing with other stores that have the bandwidth to have so much inventory, so many new, popular, interesting books. And so for me, I'm always like anxious to give out like where I'm getting my books from, because I'm like, oh, if I tell everyone, they're all gonna go there and then I'm not gonna have any books from my store. But I am gonna say it in this video because I feel like at the end of the day, I just do want like everyone to be able to achieve what I have achieved, which is essentially like having a dream job. I mean, it's 9 o'clock on a Monday or maybe 10 o'clock on a Monday, and this is like a part of my job, like making a video about books. So, I mean, if anyone else can like have that, it's definitely worth it. So first place I get my books, thrift stores. I go to thrift stores probably twice a week. I hit up all the ones in my local area. I will even go as far out as like Buffalo, sometimes Syracuse. Like, I'm definitely someone that likes to go and drive and see if I can find like new books and things like that. I have like a few Goodwill spots that are like, every time I go in there, it's just like brand new copies of like popular books. And I just want to like find these people and say, what are you doing? Like, I'm happy you're giving away this book so that I can have it, but also keep this. It's such a good copy. I literally found a hardcover like limited edition of Six of Crows the other day, and I was like, okay. I kept it for myself, obviously, but thrift stores are your best friend. They are where you're going to find a lot of books, especially if you're in areas and neighborhoods that are more like I guess like artsy. Like, everyone has like that neighborhood of the arts, or the place where like all the colleges are and things like that. Like, there's always going to be really good books there. So thrift stores aside, I also go to like estate sales. Now this one is a little trickier because it's typically like older books, like classics, which I don't mind, and I like having like a good amount of classics in my inventory, so I go there for that, but not really for like some of the newer modern fiction books. Estate sales, donations are huge. So I was getting so many emails like, can I donate to you, which is honestly amazing. So I actually set up like a donation form. So every Tuesday, Thursdays, I really try to go out and like pick up donations, or they drop it off at the studio. And so I get a lot of good donations and books from my inventory that way. And it's just really generous. Like, the fact that people are just willing to give me their like newer books for free so I can sell them, like, it's very, very generous. So I kind of started a rewards program, but I want to do something that's more accessible and easier, because I acknowledge that it's very kind for people to do that. So I want them to feel like they're getting some benefit other than just seeing me make sales off of their books. So donations are really big. And I would definitely promote that you accept donations like from the start, so that people know and have that in the back of their mind, like, okay, I have this book, I didn't really like it that much, but it's really popular, I'll give it to this person. So and then lastly, online retailers, so like Facebook Marketplace, Craigslist, places like that. Facebook Marketplace is big. It's pretty much like an online thrift store for newer books. So I think that Facebook Marketplace is great, especially if you can get them from local people, so you don't have to pay for shipping or things like that. But yeah, that's pretty much like my 4 top ones, other than like my own personal collection. I still buy new books, and when I'm so sorry, my Instagram is just like buzzing. But yes, sorry. Yeah, I buy new books, and if I don't like them that much, like, I will put them in my own bookstore, essentially. So it's nice. And like, it's still the most I think I've ever put a book up for was like $12, and it was like a coffee table type of book. So I try to keep it all reasonable. What does a typical day look like for me? So my day kind of changes, and I'm actually starting to do more of like a structured schedule. But I do split up my tasks, because honestly, I guess I just never anticipated, not even like the secondhand being popular, but also just being like so much work. So Mondays, I come into the studio. I'm supposed to shoot videos. I don't. I'm gonna start. And then I catch up like on all of my emails that I got over the weekend. From there, I print out all of my orders that I got over the weekend so that I have them laid out. I guess I could show you, it's just I don't want to mess up the camera angle, but I place them like all out on my desk so that I know like what I need to be doing for the week coming up. Tuesdays, I will go out for inventory, and since I'm out looking for inventory, I will pick up donations if I have any. Wednesdays are pretty much like, I'm in the studio, the Luna Co-op, with Jess, who owns Bless the Messy, and Sam. So they are here on Wednesdays and Thursdays. So I come in on Wednesdays and Thursdays as well for most of the day. We do curbside pickup those days. So I'm here to talk to people when they come get their orders. And then we talk about things for Luna. So we do a lot of things as a co-op together. We have like a free library down there, which has like LGBT, Black Lives Matter, like those types of books down there. People can come in and check them out as like our library. And then we're also hosting a adult scholastic book fair, which I'm really excited about. So pretty much Wednesdays and Thursdays, curbside pickup, and then I'm just like talking with Jess and Sam all day about ideas and things with Luna. And then Friday is when I ship out everything. So I ship out all the stuff on Fridays. I make sure I didn't miss any emails from the week. And yeah, so in between all of that, there's just a lot of like running back and forth, trying to find more inventory when I can, preparing for all of the pop-ups and events that I have going on. I have, in the next 2 weeks coming up, I have 3 pop-ups. I have a lit retreat that I'm hosting where we're going to the Catskills for a few days just to read and write. So I'm super excited about that. And then I have the adult book fair. So it's a lot, but it's exciting that's, you know, what my busyness consists of is like book related stuff all the time. I also do like events with other businesses. The Henrietta Library, I'm going to be doing events with them. I'm also on the WXXI advisory board, which is like a subsidiary of NPR. So And then on top of that, I'm like trying to read all of the books that I have on my shelf because I just like, that's what I love doing. So it gets kind of hectic, but it's good. So tips, tricks, and advice. Tips, tricks, and advice. Social media, that has to be on point. Even if it's not like curated, just having like a consistency when it comes to posting. Like I try to post every day at 6 p.m. If I can't do every day, every other day. And it goes back and forth between like personal content, like bookish memes, things like that. Definitely having a schedule. I think that when I started this, because it was just like a fun idea, I didn't really expect it to be something that I needed to schedule for. But it absolutely is. There's no other way around it, because even though you're a small business, people are going to still expect a certain level of, I guess, just like accessibility. Like they want to be able to get it, like reach you. They want to be able to see that you're always having new inventory, you're always posting. Like engagement, I feel like, is a full-time job in itself. So I will say that you definitely need to make a schedule. So like here's like my to-do list for like today, and then I have another to-do list on my phone where I can like actively check off. I have like a to-do list for the week so that I know what I need to focus on or actually accomplish by the end of the week. And then I have like project to-do lists. So being structured is so necessary, and I am the least structured person. So it has been a learning curve. TSO has been only open for almost a year, and it's been a huge learning process for me. So I think I'm like starting to kind of get into the groove of things, but I'm always going to be learning, and it's definitely taken a lot for me to even get to where I am as far as like keeping on top of things. So I like, there was a time where I was like literally having to go out and find new books like immediately when I got sales, because I would forget to take them down off of my site when they sold like in person. Like I can't have that happen. That wastes my time, that wastes my money. It makes the customer have to wait for their things to come out. So yeah, learn from my mistakes and just actually like make sure that you look at it as a business from day one. Even if it doesn't blow up immediately, still treat it like it is a full-fledged business, because those kind of like things you have in place will help you when it does take off. So yeah, I guess last but not least, I don't want to make this super long, and I feel like I've addressed a lot, but at the same time I could just be saying nothing at all. So please, like I said, if there's anything like I'm missing, definitely ask me. So last but not least, pros and cons. Pros: I own a bookstore. It's amazing. I love reading. I love writing. I get to just talk about books all day long. I'm a very awkward and shy person, but when I'm talking about books, I'm just like, I can make friends with anyone. And so I feel like this has definitely helped me get out of my comfort zone. I've met so many good friends from TSO, and it just makes me so happy. I'm not from Rochester, so I feel like it has helped give me a circle of people that I wouldn't have probably interacted with before, just because I don't do anything. So pros for sure is that. Cons: it can get stressful, y'all. It can get real stressful when it's only you, and I wish that I could afford to have like a full-time employee, because that will make my life so much better, but I'm just not financially, hopefully that didn't cut out too much. I'm just not at a place financially where I feel like I can afford to have someone. I'm definitely that person that would want to pay them minimum wage, if not above, like $15 an hour and more. So until I'm at that place, I can't justify having full-time help. So I'm just trying to make sure I can do everything as much as I can. Thankfully my husband, he helps me out on the weekends with shows and stuff like that, but and I have Jess and Sam, so since I'm in a co-op, like if they're out, like they'll text me and be like, I got these books for you, or like, do you want me to pick this up for you? So it's really, really helpful. But yeah, cons is just, you'll get the emails like, where's my order? You'll get the emails about when your inventory is going to be updated because it hasn't been a week, and you're like, I went everywhere I could and I don't find any books. Like it's definitely, it has its like stressful moments for sure, but I think that if you plan, you can really circumvent a lot of that. So I will say a lot of the cons are probably created by myself, and so that's why I've just been getting really serious about putting things into place so that those things don't happen as much. So yeah, this video is officially 20 minutes, so I'm gonna stop here. But thank you guys so much for watching, and because I'm getting better, hopefully I'll be posting more videos soon, but we never know. So I hope you guys have a good Monday and enjoy the rest of your week. Bye.